bringing you the latest news from Monterey Athletics. This is the Plainsman Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. As promised, we are now in the Plainsman Fan Zone. We're going to talk Monterey Lady Plainsman basketball, and we can actually touch on some of the realignment stuff because, like every other 5A team, I can almost, maybe it's west of wherever, I think that's about who's in that district now, starting next year. Let me introduce my guests. I'm going to have you introduce John a little bit here. Sure, I'm here. Chelsea Hunter, first-year Monterey coach who has the Lady Plainsmen playing really well. They're right in the thick of things in what's already just a bear of a district. We'll talk about it a little bit more. Introduce Mr. Bishop here.
Yes, this is John Bishop. He is my varsity assistant. I'm our first year together, but this is your second year at Monterey.
And we're going to get some bio on you because I got to know you a little bit last year, but I didn't get – your team was pretty – I was pretty busy covering what you guys were doing. So you get this job. There was a lot of things you knew were going to come down the pike at some point. Did you kind of know that this district would be like – you knew this district was going to be this good this year. We're going to talk mostly about this year, but taking a peek ahead, a 10-team district, which means – y'all are going to earn your paychecks a lot.
Yes.
Not that you don't already. Without talking too much about next year, but what's that going to be like to just starting probably the third week of the season, I would guess? You jump into district play.
Yes, so we should be starting district before Thanksgiving, which is pretty early. It's going to allow us about 3 games to add before district. But yeah, it's going to be a dogfight. You're going to have to be mentally ready to play every single game. We were talking 6 or 7 of those teams are state-ranked teams right now.
Yep.
And so, yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of grit that you're going to have to bring and just mental toughness and be ready to play every night.
Yeah, because you're not adding 2 teams that you can just mark down as wins. You're adding a friendship that's established itself at 6A for the last 13 years. And you're adding Memorial, which is brand new, and they're ranked 15th in the state in 4A. You've played them
3
preseason,
times.
And then you've played them 3 times.
We scrimmaged them once.
Okay. Mm-hmm. They don't look like a first-year program, and you know why that is because the guy who coaches them is somebody pretty familiar with them. So now you get to coach against Jason Cooper at least twice a year for real when games have a little bit more teeth to them.
Yes, they're going to be very well coached, very disciplined. And like you said, even now it's freshmen and sophomores. They look really well, and they're just going to continue to grow. It's going to be exciting to have that kind of rivalry between me and Coach Cooper.
Well, the rivalry right now is pretty cool I should say, I'll use my correct English because I'm a writer, among Monterey, Tascosa, and Amarillo High. You guys are in that little cycle right now. You lost to Tascosa last week on the road. Come back tomorrow night, Amarillo High at home, who you beat at their place. And I think I told you, I think I texted you this too, John. Jeff Williams told me that's as well as a team has played against one of his teams in their gym anytime he can remember. So when a guy of that caliber says that, Chelsea, that's high praise. And we were there. My wife is sitting over here in the corner here. We were at that game, and I agree with him. I've never seen now. Obviously, I've seen Monterey play a lot of good games the last few years, but your girls that day were very, very good. Is that encouraging, knowing that you're getting ready to play them a second time, or do you have to put that completely? Do you want your girls to put that completely out of their minds and not even think about the first time you played them?
Completely out of our minds. I'm really big on just staying in the moment, one day at a time, and even in practice or game, just one possession or one rep at a time. So, yeah, we've moved on past that, and we know there's some things even in that game that we needed to improve upon, and that's where our focus is.
Because it's the same exact scenario. You lost to Tascosa right before. Was it? I'm trying to think if that was over Christmas break or if you had the big break between because of Caprock. I think you
so we beat Tascosa at home, and then we lost to them last week.
All right, so it's not. It's the opposite. So you definitely don't want history to repeat itself. You want history to be different again this time.
Yes.
Losing at Tascosa is not. There's nothing to hang your head about there. What did you like about what you guys did there? Because I kind of observed some of that game as I was sitting over at Estacado, it didn't look like it looked like it was a great game from start to finish.
Yes, I like that our girls just kept competing. You know, we faced some adversity. Tascosa came out strong, and they did some things well, but our girls just kept trying to claw our way back out.
You got within 2 at one point, I believe, and I think your boys did the same thing. It was a tough night for Monterey, but not one that ends the season by any means. So, coming up on a break, we'll talk more about the Lady Plainsmen and what lies ahead, especially Tuesday night in the Plainsman Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Diving headfirst into Monterey athletics. You're listening to the Plainsman Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in. This is the Plainsman Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. We talked a little bit about realignment. We're going to leave that behind because, as I mentioned, we're having a realignment special show on Wednesday where Mike Meeks, Max Catwinkle, and Brian Gerlich are all going to come in. The whole hour and a half is going to be talking about realignment. I'm going to guess all three have had to play Dr. Phil with the 5A coaches today. I'll ask one more question. Do you like the 10-team district? And you've never coached in it, so you don't know.
Right. I think I actually played in it. It's tough, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody told you, how many 10-team districts there are in the state of Texas now, starting next year?
I do not.
One. Yeah. So you guys have that unique distinction. John Bishop, one of her right-hand coach, because Maddie Stevens was in 2 weeks ago before Snowmageddon knocked us off the air for a couple nights. We were doing a little bit of background with John. John's got connections to Wichita Falls and Clovis, so he's been around coaches, and he coached in Hale Center before he got to LISD. John, you've coached for 8 years. You said this is your eighth year?
8th year.
You've coached with some different people. You coach with, if she's listening, she's going to kick me in the shins in the air, with the legend, Jill Schneider. Now you're coaching with one of her proteges. What's it been like to adjust to different coaches and coaching styles and kind of fit in and inject your personality?
Yeah, they're both just really strong coaches. And I think, I get asked a lot, what's the big difference between Coach Schneider and Coach Hunter? And really, she played for Coach Schneider, and I think a lot of that, what she gets as a coach, comes from her. And she was also, coached by great coaches in college as well. And so I think, it's just been, there's been a lot of the same kind of expectations and everything of everybody. We kind of have the similar playing style as what we had last year and everything. So it's just been, adjusting to new personality and things like that. But it's been really great.
I don't know if John means to be. We're kind of gloating here, but what you see there, what's there on his right hand?
I know.
Do you see that every day?
He definitely wears it for district games.
There we go.
District games,
it's a nice ring. It's a state championship ring, I assume. Which, hey, if you win it, then why not wear it?
Right.
So, we were just talking before we began. You inherited an incredibly good situation, a tough situation in that you're replacing somebody who was there for 29 years, and has just left an incredible legacy, including what they did last year. But we've talked before. Not only was the cupboard not bare, you got to slide into the driver's seat of a dang good program. I've asked you this a couple times. We're 2/3 of the way through the season. If it goes as long as last year, maybe not even that far. What's it been like for you to coach this team, to coach the Columbia Blue and Red to this point?
It's been fun. Lots of learning. Just even from last year to this year. I feel like it's a little bit different just from the outside looking in, but no, it's been fun. The girls are great. We experience challenges together, but we also have fun together, and that's cool. We're making memories.
You guys have 3 games left. You're 10-3 in district. We already talked about tomorrow night, Amarillo High at your place. I have a hunch that might be the HubCityPreps.com game of the night. I'm just going to go out on a limb. But then you don't get to relax any, because then you have to go play at Lubbock Cooper. Now, Lubbock Cooper plays at Tascosa tomorrow. If I remember right, Lubbock Cooper's won 5 or 6 in a row. They got hot after a loss to you guys, I think. They're taking on the personality of their coach, and it took a little while. He, much like you, he took over for a guy who had a lot of success, Kyle Lovern. This week is a good example of what it'll be like next year. I don't think you're going to have any trouble getting your girls to lock in, though. They know who Amarillo High is. They know who Lubbock Cooper is. How does this week kind of, for both you guys both jump in at it, because you've seen your girls go through this, John. How does this kind of give you a idea of how mentally tough your girls are going to be or need to be now?
Yeah, it's something we kind of mention to them every now and then. It's just, you were only guaranteed 3 more games. And then at that point, you're only guaranteed 2 more and then 1 more. And then that's the same story, however far you make it. You've only got 1 more left. And so just like Coach Hunter was saying a minute ago, we try and stress every rep, every time in practice, just to try and keep them focused and locked in so that they're ready for when that moment does come.
That was a good coach's answer, because technically, I'll play the devil's advocate here. You guys are 10-3, but Paladuro and Lubbock Cooper are 9-4. They're on your heels. You guys have to win. Let me back up a little bit. It's high school sports. You want to win because you're teaching life and stuff like that, and that's important. But to get back to the playoffs, you're probably going to have to win at some point one of these next 3 games just to feel comfortable. Do you like that little added pressure on your girls here, on the coach as well?
I do. And like you said, the last 3 games that we have in district are huge matchups. Amarillo High, they're going to be a disciplined, solid team. Then Lubbock Cooper, they've won some big games here in the last to get them rolling and get their confidence. And then Paladuro, we are looking to avenge ourselves from the loss down there. And so they're big games, and I think our girls are going to rise to the occasion because, we don't want it to be over.
Probably could make an argument that of the teams in your district, you guys have the most difficult road here, the last 3 games, because as you mentioned, Paladuro beat you. I don't think, I'm looking right now, you guys, Amarillo and Tascosa are on the most recent rankings. Paladuro dropped out, but they've been there. I think when they beat you guys, they were top 10.
They were.
Mm-hmm. That's how crazy your district is. I think all 4 of you have been top 10 at some point, and you just keep shifting and moving. Everybody around 5A may think that Monterey's 25, what's happened to them? Well, nothing's happened to you. Played a really good schedule. So I respect the TABC rankings, but I also know that it's not always reflective of how good basketball is out here. What do you have to do this week, starting tomorrow night against Amarillo High, to get down the road to where you want to be?
We got to take care of business, play how we play our game, make sure that we're not trying to adjust to Amarillo, but make them adjust to us. Come out and play fast, defend hard. Defense wins game, defense and rebounding. And so taking care of those little details and getting the job there and making sure it translates onto offense.
John, this is with every game, but especially Amarillo High, this is a game where every coach has to throw in something and say, what about this? What are you getting ready for Jeff Williams and Amarillo High? How engaging do you have to be with Chelsea, with Maddie, knowing that it takes a village coaching-wise against a team like that?
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, it's going to take everybody doing our job to get through these 3 games, and then however many games we have after that. That's something also we stress to the girls all the time, is everybody's got to just do what they need to do.
Well, you guys have a loaded team with a lot of talent, a lot of youth, but also 2 really good players to lead the way. That's going to wrap it up because Chelsea's old coach is standing outside. I don't want to make him wait. We're going to come back for the Panther Fan Zone right after this on 100.7 The Score.